90-day fiancés Sarper and Shekinah finally reveal if they're getting divorced. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I hope you're well. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. The Istanbul skyline was glowing in the soft light of the late afternoon sun when Shekinah sat down on her apartment's narrow balcony, a glass of sparkling water in hand. From a distance she could hear the sounds of street vendors calling out their daily specials, car horns honking in a rhythm only locals seemed to understand, and the faint music drifting from a cafe 2 blocks away. She pulled the thin blanket tighter around her shoulders, even though it wasn't cold. Her hands were trembling, but she told herself it was because she hadn't eaten enough that day. 4 weeks now, the rumors had been swirling, blog posts, fan accounts, gossip columns, all speculating whether her whirlwind romance with Sarper was finally over. Paparazzi photos had caught her walking alone in the Bebek neighborhood. A TikTok video had gone viral showing Sarper at a late-night club without his wedding ring. And then there were the cryptic Instagram stories, vague quotes about trust and finding yourself, each one fueling the fire. Today she and Sarper had agreed to film together for the first time in months, in what TLC producers were calling the moment everyone's been waiting for. Cameras would roll as they sat down to tell the truth. No editing tricks, no misleading trailers. But Shekinah knew that no matter what they said, someone would twist the narrative. When Shekinah first moved to Turkey, she told herself she was ready for everything. The cultural differences, the language barrier, the long list of rules Sarper seemed to live by. In the early days it felt like they were unstoppable. Sarper, with his model-like appearance and confident swagger, swept her into a world of rooftop dinners, seaside walks and spontaneous weekend trips. But underneath the fairy tale facade there were cracks. "It's not that I don't trust you," Shekinah had told him once. "I just don't like being told what I can and can't wear." "You think it's control," Sarper replied, "but it's respect. In my culture certain things send the wrong message." She remembered the way his jaw tightened when she wore a dress he thought was too short to a family dinner. The conversation had ended in silence, but the tension lingered for days. And it wasn't just about clothes. Sarper had rules about who she could talk to, how late she could stay out, and even how often she should go to the gym. At first, Shekinah brushed it off as passion, a man deeply invested in their relationship. But over time the rules started to feel like walls closing in around her. If there was one thing Shekinah hadn't anticipated, it was the relentless attention from 90-day fiancé fans. "Is he using you for fame?" strangers would comment on her photos. "Shekinah, blink twice if you need help," another wrote under a video clip from the Tell-All episode. Every time she posted something, whether it was a coffee picture or a sunset selfie, the speculation poured in. Some fans shipped them hard, calling them one of the most beautiful couples in franchise history. Others were convinced their relationship was toxic from the start. The breaking point came when someone leaked a private photo of Sarper at a nightclub. He wasn't doing anything scandalous, just leaning against the bar with friends, but his ring finger was bare. That image was shared across multiple fan pages, accompanied by captions like, "Looks like trouble in paradise." Sarper brushed it off. "People will always talk. If we live for their approval, we'll die from their criticism." But Shekinah felt the sting every time she scrolled. The crew arrived at 9 a.m. setting up lights in the small living room. A makeup artist dabbed powder on Shekinah's cheekbones, while Sarper sat in the corner scrolling through his phone. They hadn't spoken much that morning aside from quick logistics about the interview. The producer, a warm but firm woman named Alina, gathered them together. "Here's the deal, we want this to be raw. No rehearsed lines. Talk about the real problems, and if you're staying together, say why. If you're separating, be honest about what led to it." Shekinah nodded, her heart pounding. Sarper gave a slow shrug. The cameras began rolling. Alina's voice came from behind the camera. "So, fans have been wondering for months. Are you two getting divorced?" A long pause. Shekinah looked at Sarper, silently pleading for him to go first. But he just leaned back, crossing his arms. "I think," he began, "people misunderstand us. We are passionate. We fight hard, but we also love hard. Divorce? That's not the word I'd use." Shekinah exhaled, unsure whether she felt relief or frustration. "So, you're staying together?" Alina pressed. "Yes," Sarper said simply. "But with changes." Shekinah spoke then, her voice soft but steady. "We've been through a lot, culture shock, media pressure, our own stubbornness. We're not perfect. But we're not ready to throw it all away. She admitted there were moments she'd thought about leaving, moments she'd packed a bag and stared at the door. But every time Sarper had pulled her back, not always with grand gestures but with small ones. A cup of tea left by her bedside. A message that read simply, "I miss you." Once the interview aired, the internet exploded. Some fans were thrilled, flooding their pages with heart emojis. Others accused them of staying together for the show. "She's in denial," one commenter wrote. "They're just doing it for the clout," another added. But for Shekinah, the noise didn't matter as much anymore. She and Sarper had agreed to new boundaries. She would have more freedom in her social life and he would ease up on the rules. In exchange, they'd commit to weekly no-phones nights, focusing on each other without distraction. It wasn't a perfect solution, but it was theirs. 3 months later, Shekinah sat once again on her balcony, the city alive beneath her. Sarper was inside making dinner. Something simple, pasta with fresh herbs. They still argued sometimes, still misunderstood each other, still got caught in the pull between independence and togetherness. But when she looked at him now, she didn't see a mistake she needed to fix. She saw a choice she was making every day, for better or worse. The world could keep guessing. She already knew her answer.
After the show's 90th wedding, real couples from 90 Day Fiance explain why love for the franchise endures. 90 Day Fiance's Armando Rubio hints at new side gig after controversial book launch amid signs him Kenny have money issues. Armando Rubio from 90 Day Fiance is hinting at his next side business after confirming he was finally coming to the US amid rumors he and Kenny Niedermeyer were fired from the show while they dealt with money issues. Armando and Kenny are one of the 90 Day Fiancé franchise's most beloved couples. Their love story began with Kenny and Armando meeting in a group for gay single dads. Their friendship turned into love quickly, with Kenny moving to Mexico to marry Armando. Several challenges later, Kenny and Armando tied the knot, but their marriage isn't a happy one. Armando shared several pictures of himself posing with giant inflatable flowers in various colors. He excitedly told his followers that he had taken a course and learned how to make flowers out of balloons. Armando also revealed Kenny's hilarious reaction to his new hobby, where the American man called him his butch masculine husband and manly man. A fan, Darla Necro, commented, "Hey, it's an idea for a new business. I love them." Armando told them, "Yes, TBH, I always learn for Hannah's parties, but definitely contemplating a side weekend gig someday soon." Armando is a man of many talents. While he worked at his parents' spa for pets in Baja, he also worked as an architect. It seems to be what Armando studied in college and explains why he is so good at things such as graphic design, candle making, etc. Armando spends his free time trying to learn new things, such as taking a balloon art class so he can probably throw Hannah a floral-themed birthday party. When the fans suggested Armando could make a living out of his talents, he had already thought of it. Armando might not be able to sell the filled balloons on social media or his website, but he could perhaps teach other people how to make them. Armando has a vast following on both Instagram and TikTok. He could easily get hundreds of people to sign up because Kenny really is that supportive and wouldn't mind if his husband took a break from his day job to follow his new passion. However, Armando knows that if this business flops, he might not be able to recover from it. Kenny and Armando's desperate attempts to be noticed by 90 Day Fiancé fans and their launching a book and a YouTube channel seem to show they were not doing great money-wise. The pair has not been a part of any new shows recently, even though their previous storyline had ended with them discussing their baby's arrival. It appears Armando and Kenny didn't have a baby after all. Perhaps Kenny and Armando have gone back to discussing having kids and need all the extra money they can get to raise the baby. When 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way cast members Shekinah Garner and Sarper Govan got married in bed, the pair seemed to thrill and enrage their audience in equal measure. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I hope you are well. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Some viewers offered up congratulations to the newlyweds in comments on social media, while others viewed the nuptials as a stunt meant to garner the pair more airtime. Welcome to the world of the 90-day franchise, shows people love to watch and live to hate watch. Garner and Govan's wedding was the 90th of the franchise, which has multiple shows and millions of fans. The original show, 90 Day Fiance, premiered on TLC in January 2014, featuring stories about Americans who fall in love with people from other countries. The 90-day refers to the amount of time an individual with a K-1 fiancé visa has to marry their US sponsor and start the process to become an American citizen. The franchise has grown to have multiple spin-off series, including 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, 90 Day The Single Life, 90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, and The Last Resort. Like CNN, TLC is part of Warner Bros.' Discovery. Lauren and Alexei Bravanik joined the show in 2015 after meeting and falling in love in Israel, where she had travelled as part of a birthright trip in 2013. Viewers have followed their lives over the past 10 years as they settled in Florida and welcomed 3 children. It hasn't always been easy, something Lauren learned after she underwent a surgical mommy makeover, which caused some tension with her husband and divided viewers. "You're always being judged," Lauren Bravanik told CNN. "You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, and you can't do it right no matter what." Public scrutiny hasn't dissuaded the couple from participating in several spin-offs, including 90 Day Fiancé Pillow Talk and Lauren Alexei After the 90 Days. They will next be seen in a new season of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. "It's a brilliant concept, and every story is different," Bravanik said of the entire franchise. Alan Orstein, Senior Vice President for Production and Development for TLC, credits the appeal of 90-day shows to their mix of romance and drama. "It's boy meets girl meets boy, girl meets girl," he said. "People love to see the romantic journeys. People love the rollercoaster relationships, and 90 Day Fiancé gives it this twist of this international component." He insists that the show is not scripted, as some on social media have suggested. Orstein said they aim to cast individuals who are open, being honest, giving full access, being ready to wear your heart on your sleeve, being ready to dig deep, and to be ready, willing and able to sort of have your most intimate experiences be out there. That's not so easy. Not everyone can do that, and it's something that we have to be mindful of in the casting process. And sometimes, even during productions, people become more guarded, Orstein said. "It's hard to do these stories and to make a show like this if people aren't ready to sort of open up and give full access. That's really what makes the best cast members, people who are just ready to go there." Kenny Niedermeyer and Armando Rubio became famous for their appearance on 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, when Niedermeyer moved to Mexico, married Rubio, and become co-parent to Rubio's daughter Hannah, 12. The couple even had a spin-off in 2022 titled Kenny Armando, Love is Love. The two men said they didn't quite know what to expect when they joined the franchise, but it's been a great experience. "I think our favourite part is that we were able to tell our story, and I think it helped a lot of people that are in our situation that might feel kind of left out, or they feel like a lot of people don't support them," Niedermeyer said. He added that occasional negativity they received for sharing their lives was something that made them closer. "We felt so much support along the way," Niedermeyer said. "We weren't sure what we to expect when we signed on to do 90 Day Fiancé, but we were pleasantly surprised, and I think it really made a difference in our lives." The new season of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, premieres Sunday, July 6th at 8 p.m. ETPT on TLC.